TY, Prince, SOS, Percival, Maru, Creator. 2021 GSL Season 1, Code A. Africa TV, Freak Up Studio, live. LG Ultra Gear and Hot 6, 2021 GSL Season 1.
I felt like our GSL voice was doing a very primitive diary. Like day one, TY.
My, it has been kind of a quick day so far here, the first day of Code A. But we have a few mismatches, right? We have like these sick champions going up against some of our newer players. Prince and Percival unable to get it done against TY and SOS, but as to be expected, still showed some cool games.
I think if you look at the results numerically, it doesn't do it justice. I mean, the games were much closer. Some games it's actually like watching a python eat a frozen rat, but other times it's not, you know?
Frozen rat.
Yeah.
Well, at least the python gets an ice cream headache.
Yeah. And then if you look at our entire career of casting StarCraft, we've also casted matches where a python ate a frozen rat, and the python died, and the rat got out. We've had every level of play.
And the warmth of the python, because it was sitting on a hot rock, thawed the rat, who then
who
crawled
then chewed
away.
its way out. That sounds like an amazing game. Can I cast that one right now?
Sounds good. Animal game will never be an esport.
Animal game will never be an esport. What is that from again?
One of these, I think it's Coursera, where they made like a course on esports, and it's like the worst thing anyone ever made.
This is a new thing.
Hi
all
guys,
these people,
we sell an online course and we don't know anything about.
Yeah, we're entirely unqualified, and that is a lot of esports. Like just people coming in being like, well, now we're into esports. I'm like, you've never actually worked or know anything about esports. You don't,
dude.
That's
you
like me being like,
just described the industry.
You're like, you know what? I'm a doctor now. It's like, you're not a doctor.
Yeah.
You didn't go to medical school. You will kill people if you do this. It's like, all right, welcome to esports. Like,
yeah, that's, damn, you summed it up.
Now I'm an expert on computer game tournaments. It's like, whoa, no, you're not. No, you're not.
Yeah.
And half of them, you're like, do you watch any esports? They're like, no.
Don't need to.
But I've got a master's degree. And then other people are like, do you watch esports tournaments? They're like, yeah, all the time. I'm like, good. That still doesn't make you an expert. So there you go.
But it says otherwise on my LinkedIn profile.
Yeah, my LinkedIn profile says that I am a gaming consultant.
I have 15 years of experience. I'm like, I don't have 15 years of experience. Get out of here.
I have an original Super Nintendo in my house.
Like, you probably don't even.
Yeah, you probably don't.
2021 GSL Season 1.
We stood at the edge of the world, seize the stakes.
I like our outfits for the pros and the pictures.
The schoolboy outfits.
Schoolboy fights coming in.
Yeah. You know Percival has a pack of cigarettes under
Yeah.
that vest.
Maru,
He's
right.
the cool kid for sure.
He's the cool kid. He's going, you do your homework. They can't make you do that. It's like
Team NV, Creator.
That was a turning moment in my life.
Yeah.
One of my best friend told me that, like, what are they going to do if you don't do your homework? And I was like, oh.
I think you're right.
Never
Actually, it's
did
weird. I
homework.
remember just never do. I remember literally being in like first grade and I had like a paper where it's like 3 questions I had to fill. I remember looking at it and my child brain saying, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm like that. I'm not going to do that. That
And you
doesn't-
haven't changed at all, actually.
No. You should, people are like, have you checked your email? I'm like, I'm not going to do that. It's 2021. You can text me on my phone.
I don't check my texts either.
Yeah, this is true for him.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You want to get a
listen,
hold of me? You have to somehow contact my wife and convince her to tell me about it.
This is one of these things that when people try to use email, I actually do think like you almost never need to really use email anymore. When people are like, I emailed you about that, I'm like, okay, well, I'll send you a Raven. Like, what are we doing here? You have my phone number, just text me.
Oh my God.
Why do I have to like do a letter? Hello, Nick. Hope you are doing well. I'm like, oh God, here we go. All right. Now I gotta write. Now
I hate when people are polite.
Now I gotta write you a letter back. I gotta get out my feather and ink.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I am doing
terrible.
well here in Korea. I hope you are safe from the COVID virus. Now, and I start to like, no, we don't need to do this.
I would reply, but there's no birch bark left on my birch trees to peel off and right on this with charcoal, okay?
Yeah.
I don't got time for this. My birch trees are all dead because of the frost. I have no way to email you back.
Yeah, it's just, we never changed, really. Don't like the busy work. In this match
I just want to
here,
play video games. Just leave me alone.
Yeah, I just want to play. I want to play as much video games as possible.
Yeah.
And enjoy my life. So, this is a match. It could have been any year. Maru vs. Creator, two of the oldest fixtures in GSL history. I mean, and don't forget, guys, I know Creator definitely doesn't perform to the level of Maru, but he has been here since day one.
Yeah, he does put out some very solid games from time to time.
He is.
So when 3 of those solid games line up, he's gonna kill someone good like Maru. It is within him. He's such an emotional player as well. He's actually considered the most emotional player in GSL overall. Like he gets very angry when things go wrong. So if anything goes wrong, that's where he starts to fall apart.
Yeah, I think he plays a really clean game if he can keep up. But yeah, if he does start to fumble, and in a best of 5, you have to expect there to be a lot of hiccups, even if you win.
It's very
a lot of interruptions, a lot of bumps in the road. I mean, it really is an emotional roller coaster to go through a best of 5. And I'm not trying to knock on Creator. It is an impressive feat that he has consistently been a round of 32, a round of 24, or in this case, a Code A player in the GSL.
Yeah,
and he's had moments that
been
he's
a fair amount of times.
excelled ahead of that, but generally...
Second in the 2012 World Championship.
That's right. Do not forget that. But generally speaking, he is a player that you expect to be the guy who's going to lose out of the rest of the players.
Well, yeah, he's up against Maru. What can you say?
You could expect Creator to probably lose against most other good Terrans, but I think especially against Maru. Similar to our TY situation where it's like just a little bit harder to imagine a victory.
Okay, he's going to go ahead and Suicide Mind Drop here into the natural, and this is going to buy some room for the Hellions to run in as well. What a move from Maru.
Whoa.
Oh, boy.
And the execution on this is so good. I'm kind of surprised he actually lands the 4th mine in there and doesn't wait for the main.
Okay, splits those mines up, and he will be able to save this one into the medevac. Really well done. Maru getting 8 probes. Now, was that enough to tilt Creator off his rocker?
This is one of the hard parts about PvT in general is Widow Mine drops.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so punishing from the Protoss' perspective.
Honestly, you didn't have to say anything after that. Like, you could have just said Widow Mine drops and just that's it, and we don't say anything for the rest of the cast. And
Protoss
every Protoss
players
player
everywhere have a heart palpitation hearing about it. The number of Protoss players that wake up in the middle of the night with cold sweats screaming out, Widow Mine drops!
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's one of the things that's very punishing. I actually kind of like that idea in the game. I like things that can turn the game on its head immediately.
Now look at this.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of stalkers right there.
Yes, he does.
Blinks up into the main base.
This is a style we've seen before. What's key to stopping it is not just having a bunker well positioned, but tanks also. If you can eliminate the surface area at which they can hang out there, usually the situation sort of solves itself. And so Creator bringing a little bit of an older style. It's not bad, but it has been, a thing we've seen many a time before.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's really going to get any damage done. The placements here of Maru are insanely good. 2 bunkers at the natural. You don't normally see that. 3 tanks in the main. Running around with this Raven as well. Yeah, looking nice. Maru, just completely solid. Has more workers than Creator, which is always very painful in this matchup. Really, in even games, you see Protoss ahead as far as workers go.
So he's going to once again come back in with more stalkers here. Diving in, and again, the longer that the game goes on, from at least the Terran's perspective, the safer you are against this. Stalkers are not siege tank shots. Okay, they're not. You can't put a stalker out and then whatever they fire at is going to pay for itself compared to splash damage hammering your stalkers.
So stalkers, for the record, are not siege tank shots.
Look at me in the eyes when I say this, Artosis.
Because, see, this is where I'm getting confused.
Artosis.
Yeah.
These people that think stalkers are siege tank shots, they think the Earth is flat.
I
They
actually,
think they're-
before you said that, I have to admit, I thought that
The
when I was
stalkers
buying
are
a
siege
stalker,
tank?
I was just buying the siege tank shot. I'm
No.
like, why doesn't it go away? This is broken.
The value of stalkers goes away. You drop a stalker in a base, it's not the same as that explosive damage hitting all of your stalkers at once.
No, it's not at all.
No.
Maru taking this third CC location, floating over. Has a lot going on right now. We do have Storm on the way. Over on Creator's side of the map, adding in an Immortal, getting the Forge.
Psy Storm 10 seconds out from finishing. And I wouldn't be surprised if we actually see the Terran begin to attack out here.
Yeah.
He's got the Widow Mines. You can be a little bit more flexible with pushes when you have some Widow Mines on the map, especially with a Raven. If you kill the Observers, the map is a lot less safe to just sort of be on.
Well, looks like Maru is getting ready for that attack. He's got a good amount of units here. Very microable. I think he left all his siege chinks at home, right? Yeah. I like that. Some good defense. Creator
Okay.
here waiting in the Bubula.
Yeah, nice Storm comes down, but doesn't kill off really what you need to get there. So he can go back, he can heal up. And I think the Terran might want to try to attack at 12, but you know, the longer this game goes on, I think the less safe Terran's going to be trying to push in. I mean, Creator playing an older style, but certainly a style that's not bad. He's got
this is good.
He's got High Templars inside the Warp Prism. This is a very old StarCraft concept. You can drop the Templars out, Storm, and then run away. So they can't really be EMP'd, not that that's even a threat right now. And Creator, again, this is why he's such a consistent player. He looks fine this game.
I like how he's playing it. Just the Prism flying around, like we saw that disable on it, but he still had a Templar out, so he holds that pretty well. And it looks like this is just going to go into a late game. Like, we've had our scuffles, and no one's really done enough damage. Like, Creator's army is good enough that it doesn't feel like Maru can really finish him yet. So Maru needs to take another base, continue to mass up, maybe start to split up a little bit. But Creator, he's got his 4th up. He's got 80 probes, really, really healthy. What's he making right now, though? Because we haven't seen that High Templar count go up. It's sitting there at 4. Normally, you'll start adding some more, putting that expansions and stuff. He must have like double Robo Colossus making.
I would imagine. I mean, you need more splash damage. The Templars are not the end of the story. There's another attack coming up here, not the one that we're seeing right now, but one actually at 9 o'clock on the mini-map here, and it looks like it's going to be a drop intended for the main. So really, this attack that we were watching is more of a diversion to set up for this drop we're going to have right now.
He does have 4 Stalkers, but that is woefully not enough.
Yeah, and everything literally is unloaded. They did not prevent a single thing from coming out. The Widow Mines are going to completely wreck the Zealots, and now he can actually dive on top of these Colossi here.
Yeah, that's too bad. It was taking a long time making those. They will save him, and I guess he doesn't really take that much damage. He loses some army quality there, and will go into a new Colossus. And actually, he started Disruptor, but went back to the Colossus. Yeah, the thing is, I think that in this type of game, you definitely want 3 to 4 Colossus before you get into your Disruptors, just based on what we've seen so far. So I'm glad that he's... Oh, he canceled again and went into a Disruptor. Unless that one, like, popped out. Oh, actually, it finished. Never mind. I was like, what? Make up your mind! But yeah, he's getting 3 sources of splash, which is pretty insane. Looking good.
Oh, nice EMP on the Templar, allowing a forced fight over here. I don't think there's 2 more Colossi out yet. They're about to come out. But this damage is going to come in extremely quickly. And sometimes that can happen in the blink of an eye, and EMP completely shuts down a position you thought you might have had. Another attack over here is going to kill that Templar before a Storm can get off. And Maru just thrashing his way in and then thrashing his way back out the moment he realizes the fight is no longer in his favor.
But you know what? Like, that was a great move from Maru overall. Creator a bit lower here in supply. Still though, I think he's playing well enough to continue to push this forward.
No,
like, we need to see him mass up a little bit more, make sure that he has, you know, his army kind of set. It's like a hard to micro army when you get up to the 3 sources of splash. But with those, it's hard for any Terran to deal with that, even Maru.
Yeah, this is, I think, positionally so much better for Maru in general. He basically has 2 small armies, one that we just saw attacking there, and then this one down here. And basically, the Protoss can't really move out without the other army. It's like not this one as an example, but the other one coming in there and diving on one of his bases. And again, even though we're seeing some battles that are won here by the Protoss, it's a very replenishable army.
It's good defense overall from Creator. A little bit of a counter harassment there with the Zealots. Do force a cancel on that CC, but Maru is taking a 5th elsewhere towards the bottom left. Comes in, good spread. The Disruptor Shot only kills a Ghost.
Yeah, these Disruptor Shots just not connecting to juicy enough targets to make them worth their value right now. And once again, as that base is shut down, sight set on a big drop here into the main. I only see, what, 1 Templar here. A Psy Storm would be great, but I mean, it's not going to be enough. And in fact, it's going to be a feedback there on one of the Ghosts, maybe not having enough energy for Storm, but
sure. Yeah, he's winning this little battle in the center, but obviously does need to deal with that drop. You know, I think at this point, like, it's okay to lose a few probes. It's not really going to hurt you all that much. He can remake that.
I think everything you're saying is true, Artosis, but the real story is, like, we don't see Creator really able to get out of his quadrant of the map.
That's a good point.
Like, Maru's now outgrown him.
He should have a 5th base right now.
Yeah,
he should.
And the thing is, the army that Maru's losing is you can reassemble easily. There may be a moment of hope here, though, for Creator. He has to full-on counterattack, though.
And he is sending all of his units across the map right now. Now that drop doing a bit of damage.
Oh my God.
Just
he might not find this, by the way. This is not where you're looking if you're getting nuked. You're looking where your probes are.
Go ahead. He cloaks it up. It's kind of
was that not cloaked? I didn't even notice
it wasn't at first. Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay, well, he damages a bunch of buildings. Good on him. It looks like this will be clean, but I want to see that Creator attack. Like, he has his army down there. Yeah. There are some Liberators set up. That is a scary army. If you micro that correctly, this army beats almost anything.
And
it's hard to control that, but like this is, look at this. He's bringing his SCVs out, going to run them away. He's just going to lose them all. That Planetary, of course, will be picked off very, very easily. So he kills a base. Now we're 4 base versus 4 base again. Not so bad. He's taking his own 5th. Liberators are out, so with Liberator range finishing up, that is going to be a bit tough, but we see a Stargate start. So maybe we're going to see him go into Tempest, do you think? I don't feel like he has the money to support Carrier. I would prefer to just see him add in like 3-4 Tempest.
I think Carrier would take too long to actually become, you know, a thing that the Terran is threatened by. I think we're already seeing Terran bounce back into action. You know, I was talking about how Creator was kind of stuck in his quadrant of the map, but you know, Terran overextended a little bit, and then we got a lot more freedom here on the other side. But Terran's rebuild is just leapfrogging these Liberators and is basically going to completely, with ease, by the way, push away this army, come in here, kill off the Nexus, kill off the probes as well.
Yeah, that 5th base, he just can't get it down. He can't get it mining.
He might drop the main again. I don't know.
I think he might want to keep this together for now because he has so many. Well, he could do the Liberator plus drop thing, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But honestly, he has him kind of on the back foot here. He doesn't have good anti-Liberator.
He's got him on the run. These Templars perfectly placed to get some excellent storms off here. The first Colossus goes down, then the second. The push is starting to become one I just don't know that the Protoss can actually wrestle with effectively at all. I mean, this is such a spread. The Liberators, there's no real answer to them. The area is too boxy and tight to get any stalkers around to really take this. And I actually think he could start to leapfrog into the main and win this by destroying the Protoss infrastructure. Not the most common way to win in this matchup, but one that looks to be what kind of victory we have upon us here.
It's looking very, very good for Maru. Nothing really left for Creator, honestly. He's trying to kill this Planetary. Doesn't look like it's going to work out. Maru expanding everywhere, killing everything. Just showing his overall quality. But let's not forget, like, the opening was very good for Maru compared to Creator. And he still put out a nice macro game overall. Like, he held on for a long time, he killed some bases. Maru getting into those Liberators, he could not deal with it. It's like, if you're playing against Liberators, either you need to have some sort of counter-tech like those Tempests, or I think more commonly, you're keeping enough aggression on that you can pick them off.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, he was having a hard time getting out of his base for a long time. He stayed alive, sure, but without having any sort of map control. Like, if Terran gets on you with Liberators, they're unbelievably strong. If you're attacking Terran and they have Liberators, you have maneuverability. You can move around and find ways in.
And here he is now destroying the infrastructure in the Protoss' main. The counterattack's going to come, but I don't even need to see what he has. The numbers should be all we need to have. A 200 supply Terran with structures positioned to wall. This is going to be the last moments in this game, as Protoss has no way to recover, and that's going to be it. GG, Maru takes game 1, but it was a back and forth.
Yeah. Not the easiest finish there for Maru, but definitely showing that he is a bit of a step up. Now, the initial 4 Widowmine drop through the choke with 2 Hellions running in, he did do some pretty significant damage to Creator, and Creator, you know, he only got 1 real attack after that did damage, right, where he killed the Planetary. And that was pretty much it. Other than that, Maru had map control that game. So hopefully Creator can have a slightly cleaner early game, and then maybe in the late mid-game have that control, walk around, force Maru to stay back a bit more. Easier said than done. Yeah,
easier said than done for sure. Romanticide is our map for map number 2. And, you know, I mean, again, I don't feel like there was one big thing Creator did wrong. I think he did bring a little bit of an older style. I think especially when you look at Prince, you're kind of seeing the cutting edge of Protoss. Creator has always been a little bit more in the camp of, like, stats or...
He's pretty standard.
He's very standard. He's very textbook, and that's not wrong. But, you know, of all Terrans in the whole world, the ones we're casting today, you know, TY and Maru, are extremely good against that. That's you playing to their advantage, right?
Absolutely.
So I don't know that Creator's going to mix it up. Again, as always, he can hold his own against the very best, but he does not usually win that best of 3 or best of 5.
2021 GSL Season 1.
We stood at the edge of the world, seized the stakes.
Team NV, Maru. Team NV, Creator.
So
he's looking pretty comfortable.
Yeah. I think he played all right that game. It wasn't like he didn't, like, blunder a bunch of times or something, you know? It was a tough game against, you know, who is generally considered the best Terran ever. What can you do?
I mean, it's got to be frustrating playing against Maru, but you can't exactly be that mad, right? It's like, well, I mean,
it's a tough draw.
I was holding my own for a little bit. I actually broke free from his grips in the mid game, had a push, did a lot of damage, but, you know, the thing about Maru is he's able to just kind of muster an army and oftentimes force a position that we really just don't see from other Terrans. I mean, the way that he basically pushed through, I think it was the Protoss' 5th base.
Yeah,
and
over.
And then push into the 4th, and then push into the main. It's like, oh, you just took this location that was very close together and just wiped that entirely with a great switch into Liberators. And it's like, all right, well, that's, I mean, that could be any Protoss in the world and he dies of that.
Totally. A little bit of harassment, Creator. Really moving that probe. Getting as much done as he can with it. This Nexus, of course, on the way. Wait and see what he has planned. Maru, kind of interesting. Teching up a little bit here on one base. Of course, these two know each other very, very well.
Right.
Teammates for such a long time. And, well, they're still teammates now. I don't know that NV has a house out here. I'm actually unsure about that. I would assume not.
I don't
but
think so.
yeah. But, you know, they lived together in Jin Air for a very, very long time. So it doesn't super surprise me what Maru's up to. Look at this. He runs past. That's some good intel. You don't see a CC. You see that he's making reactor to something. Hellions are likely. And if you can get in there and do some damage to Creator, that's the type of thing that can tilt him. We've seen it before.
So we've got that Twilight coming now. You know, with Creator, I guess one of the bigger questions I'm asking myself is like, is it just going to be kind of par for the course 2020 PvT? Even some of the stuff even older, honestly, the Templars and the Warp Prisms, that's been around for years. But or is there going to be like new, innovative play? I mean, we did have a game where TY lost in late game to Void Ray Carrier, 1 Colossus Disruptor.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh,
That's
well,
cool.
that is different. You know?
By the way, we have something a little bit different here.
Yeah,
it's actually a very quick armory. So we're going to have Cloaked Mine drop here.
And we're actually going to have the 4-gate Stalker Blink build here.
Yeah, and he's fully walled because he does see that there's Hellions around, right? And he figures, okay, it's probably a Hellion drop, but what's going to get him is he does not have any detection here. Look, the Hellions come in. Does he have mines in that medevac? No, he does not, actually.
No, yeah, it's just Hellions. So he can fight this. I mean, I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, no, he can fight this.
The problem
Where are
is-
those mines, though?
They're coming. I think he just picked him up. I think we don't have it on camera, but it's going to be going to the natural.
And look, this is going to be really painful.
Oh, no. Okay, he actually pulls away.
He's not going to. Oh, that got down?
I can't
Now,
believe that
watch
got
this,
underground.
Oh, man.
Another one comes in. That's going to zone out the other Stalkers from getting over there.
This is painful.
Blink's only halfway finished from researching. So I think what was intended to be an actually pretty aggressive control opening from the Protoss is really a... Oh!
Oh, no! You see Creator throw his head back in his chair.
He noticed like a second and a half later. Like,
Yeah, and there's one down there I think he hasn't even realized.
oh, now it's happening.
So many probe deaths. 15. And he's waiting.
Wait, what happened over here? Oh, God, I
Another
didn't see that
mine.
one for a second.
Yeah.
My eyes didn't catch it for a second. Yeah, another mine here. And again,
Here's what I'm waiting for, the scan to pick off the observer with one of the mines.
yeah, that might be coming. I mean, we've talked about this before where Creator looks pretty good until he hits a bump in the road. And look, this is hard. Anybody who's played Protoss against a Terran knows this feeling where like your screen is literally in the wrong place for a quarter of a second.
Yeah.
And you lost 7 probes. So this is 21 probes killed.
The lead for Maru is pretty significant after that. Like, look at his production tab here on Creator's side. Everything is stifled. Maru knows everything that's going on. Creator doesn't have anything. He doesn't have anything. He's got to rebuild these probes. He doesn't have any way to attack. Like, he can come over here with his Blink Stalkers. Okay, gonna kill a depot. But that's about the extent of it.
Yeah. Another attack in over here. He's actually going to go right for the tank, and I think this is questionable. In fact, he's... Okay, yeah, that's what I was worried about, is that he actually can't get the kill on the tank. And I mean, damage is really compounding. I'm not saying that this game is about to end in a GG, but I don't know how Protoss is going to find a lead in any way. He's lost a lot of workers. He just took damage on the hull of all of his Stalkers, which are already pretty brittle units, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is rough.
Well, realistically, because there's no attack timings, probably the most likely way to come back in a situation like this is to get splash damage and try to grind down attacks that come at you.
Right.
Because you can't get damage done to Maru. Like, Maru would have to make a big misstep, which he just does not do. You don't win 4 GSLs in a row making big missteps where you miscalculate what your opponent can do. He's not going to do that, right? So He is getting the High Templars. He's getting a Prism for them, Psy Storm.
Ah.
But it's like last game, except he took like 3 times as much damage at the beginning this game as last game. Last game, he couldn't really move out of his sector for most of it.
Does Maru pull SCVs here? I'm curious after we casted the
oh, it's possible.
Percival games. But by the way, this is how you do it. SCVs or no is that you kill the workers, you build up a further lead, and then you say, okay, as he's trying to catch up, now I will take the lead and use that to punish the other player, where Percival got a bunch of kills and then came out, and it's like the army still can basically fight this. And I mean, there's a chance that Creator hangs on, but right now Maru is the favorite, and we know how Maru looks when he takes these big fights.
Well, we do have some Psy Storms, so that's going to be what we're looking at here. Okay, drops off these Siege Tanks, repositions them on that other side. Sees the Prism, so has to be aware that there could be High Templars. Okay, we had a feedback there on the Raven. I think that's a really reasonable idea. Psystorm goes down, some good splitting from Maru. Yeah, the overcharge really going to save him here.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, this is not a bad moment here for Creator. He's hanging on. He is not 100% safe yet. There's still 2 tanks back here that are going to continue to hammer away at this position, but he did thin that army out a little bit, and this is a sign of a good player here from Maru. He's going to back up. The Stalkers could try to blink in.
Just got to be careful about that, though, right? They're very low on actual health, mostly just shields at this point. So blink in. If Maru stims quickly and turns around, he's going to lose everything. Yeah. Right. I mean, it was a pretty good hold. Another mine drop coming in. Every little bit of damage is so painful for Creator here.
Yeah. And he didn't actually pull these probes at all. What is this, 4 there? Yeah, so...
Yeah.
I mean, this is rough, man. And, you know, quietly behind it, Maru already sets up another pretty good position. Is he going to actually just go for a big drop of the main? That's kind of funny looking. All right, so he's going to send the 2 tanks back and send everything else over there. No, he's not. He's going to just pull away.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I guess it's fine either way. Just,
well, Maru's so far ahead that he can make all sorts of decisions, and we can say anything we want about him because whatever he does here looks good. Because it's like, yeah, the only way he could lose is screwing up. So, like, he runs away, that's fine. Oh, he attacks? Yeah, well, he has more. You know, it's like, it's, what do you call it? Choose your own adventure on how to win.
Yeah. It's like, we'll turn to page 56 to Doom drop his main.
Okay, here goes the Doom drop. Now, if you want to retreat, go back 3 pages.
Yeah.
All right, out comes the Psy Storms. Very Marauder heavy, so it doesn't kill that much with it. Maru coming up to the front. Another group of units here.
Yeah, I think that the defense is going to be too thin everywhere. The main is still basically chewing through everything there, and actually this push out here, I think this could also still be won here if Maru really focuses it. GG, Maru takes that game. Nicely done.
You could see the emotion there from Creator. Pretty unhappy overall. He was saying some words.
Well, you know, the thing with Creator is, look, he's a unique character in our pantheon of GSL players. I mean, he is a guy who has been kind of stuck. Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to this, you know, where like you're trying and you're not getting to where you want to be. You know, you're not bad at all, obviously. I mean, if people joke about Creator not being good, it's like this guy is literally one of the most accomplished players of all time. He has been in more GSLs than almost any player, but he does not get past. It's like he can't break through that membrane.
He's a top of the qualifiers, but didn't make it / round of 32 guy generally. Yeah. And here, I think this year, he's likely to be a Code A guy. Like we see him in Code A, and you know, he is the test for someone very good to get in.
Yeah, and I mean, again, he's stuck. I think a lot of people that ladder can relate to this. We're like, okay, they've been at the same level. They're not going down, but they're also not going up. And to not make progress is sometimes the most frustrating thing, especially if it's a game that you really pour yourself into. And I mean, that's kind of, at least in my mind, always been the story of Creator more than any other GSL player.
Yeah, yeah, it does feel that way with him.
We've had different, tough stories in the past too. I mean, Deer won at GSL right out of the gate, and then sort of has been not bad, but not the best since.
Yeah.
There's a lot of players like this that have stories that are more tragic than, some of these like TY, where he's an anime protagonist and he casts the tournament and he wins everything, and
there can't be many of those. We only have a few people. If you
and
actually
most
count
aren't
the
very
GSL
good,
champions,
most aren't compelling stories either. The
Yeah.
anime protagonist who's top of his class and #1 on tennis, and also has a superpower and has a kind of awkward relationship with a girl that he can't really express his feelings to.
Things can
Anime
be rough when you're-
protagonist.
yeah, an anime protagonist.
I just think you're so cute. And he's like, oh, whatever. No, but I mean, like, seriously, with Creator, I would love to see this guy pull ahead. I'd love to see him reinvent his play, his results, but
Do you think his emotions play a lot into it? Because you see him get frustrated. A lot of times he falls apart after a certain amount of frustration.
Yeah. So, yeah, probably. I was personally. I mean, you're an emotional player. I used to be. No. What am I saying? I used to be super emotional at tournaments. Like, if I lost, I would always cry.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been to some tournaments where, like, I lose, and it's like, well, Taste will be gone for 4 hours. And he'll eventually come back. So
he's ugly crying.
I do. I'm ugly crying in the
front
snow.
of the PC cafe.
It's true. But, yeah, I mean, I think a mastery of that can help. There are players who are, like, literally the best that are explosive, that are angry or super emo and depressive. So, like, I think always improving on that is good. Is that the thing that's holding him back? I actually don't know. I mean, I think it's fair to say we look at his play now, and it's like it's very ordinary. I don't know if unless Creator is really going to become like better than Stats at what Stats does, is this really how he's going to win? I mean, look at Prince. Prince is absolutely on Batman villain levels of Protoss play.
He
okay?
is. He's the Riddler, man.
He's Two-Face. He's Two-Face over here. He's flipping
But he's
his
only
coin.
shown the ugly side so
Yeah,
far.
that's right. Only the ugly side. And, I'm not saying that you have to do that, but I think reinventing yourself is essential. I think we saw this with Parting, who was known for just timing attacks, not so much cheeses, came back with a whole lot of different plays. Yeah.
2021.
That's how I feel.
GSL
I
Season
can tell
1.
it. That's what you told us.
Stood at the edge of the world, sees the stakes.
Game paused.
Let's pause that game.
I wonder what happened. Okay. So Creator pauses.
He's like, hold on, guys. Still too angry about that last game.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm sure it's some sort of setting issue. We'll see about that momentarily. Like, what's wrong? He's like, this is what's wrong right here.
He's like, you see this
Can you help
Terran
me with
player?
this?"
Yeah. He points to Maru.
I couldn't see his mines last game. Like, what was that? Like, oh,
Yeah.
if you make the armory, you can't see them.
He goes, they burrow underground. He goes, they what?
But then you can't see them.
Does something have to plant him? Like a vulture? It's like, no, the mine burrows itself like a lurker.
It's like, well, can you catch them when they walk across the map? He's like, they flew in the medevac.
Oh my!
It's like, wait, a medevac's for Marines, though.
Yeah, it's like, well, no, you can fit 4 of them inside of one medevac. He's like, okay, but just so we're not completely crazy, the mine explodes after it kills everything, like a mine. Like what it's called is right.
It can't possibly have infinity missiles.
It's not an
inside of it.
underground rocket launcher with infinite ammo. And he's like, no, that's actually what it is as well.
And then the show shuts off tomorrow morning early on the GSL social media. We here at the GSL take cheating very seriously. We are retroactively taking Maru's championships away from him.
We have to switch out the PCs.
Excellent. Everything stopped. All right.
Yeah.
Broken PC. They're telling Maru, he's like, yeah, sure, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, I'll tell you what else is going to be broken in a little bit. So, yeah, they've got to swap this PC out. this is just so very GSL for us to
You gotta-
have this
you gotta do this
downtime,
sometimes. It's
and then
important.
for us to get the new PC put in.
Mhm.
We are prepared for this.
Maru with his heat pack.
Yep. I got to order my heat packs. I haven't since I moved to my new place.
Huge box in my house.
Yeah.
Huge box of heat packs. My kids steal them anytime they see one. Oh,
they
Can
like
I have
them?
that?
Yeah.
Is that for your hands, Dada? Yes.
So I don't know. I guess there's some discussion here with the ref and production.
Yeah.
Send one production guy down there because he's the guy that fixes the whatever the thing is. The ref is there to kind of say, all right, is this in the GSL rule book? How do we deal with this?
We'll get that all fixed up. There's our ref right there.
Here's our psychedelic background.
Yeah, it's kind of like oil on water
Yeah,
or something
yeah.
like that.
This
It's
is
cool
where
looking.
you watch StarCraft and you talk to the DMT aliens. It's pretty cool.
Find out that they're Protoss. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah, they're trying to tell you that it's okay to cheese. You're like, ah, and then you die. But yeah, I mean, kind of to expand on what I was saying earlier, I would love to see Creator come back. I do like a story of redemption. I think we all do. Except for Flash fans who are like, I just hope he wins everything all the time forever. I'm like, you're just the most interesting people. You guys are.
Oh boy.
But you just have players that are stuck, and when they do come out and get good, I mean, this is why you do have all these posts online of like, I got Masters, I didn't think I'd cry.
Yeah.
Because like,
it's big feels for sure. If you're
big
stuck,
feels for sure.
Big feels for sure.
Artos has never cried in front of a human before. It's just big feels for sure, yo.
Never cried in front of a human. So true.
Yeah. It's
I
big.
only cry out of anger.
That's right.
Believe it or not.
I believe that.
All right.
We were
Actually-
like in reclining chairs, like laying
No,
back.
I was.
It's like every ad for a gamer chair ever where they show you the different parts, and they're like, it can also go down like this. And I'm like, great. So when I get in a fight with my girlfriend, I have to sleep in the computer room, I can still lay down? Like, this is not the best sell.
I wish we had those chairs here because
Gamer
when we're
chairs?
not on camera, I try to act like I have no bones. I just like slither down and like drape over.
We are like jellyfish that can flex our bodies for a little bit and be upright. But the last thing I ever want is for a camera to be on us while we're casting.
Oh, no, that's the worst.
I won't name the esport event, but there was a period where they were trying that out, and it's like, actually,
A few things try that, yeah.
this is like when they put a camera on the guy who's doing the radio show, and it's like, well, he's just hunched over
Yeah.
talking into a mic. I'm like, yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm really
Because we didn't need the
concentrating. I'm
visual
like
medium
this.
here. Yeah. Well, I'm picking my nose and eating my boogers. That was what I'm doing.
Oh, people can tell with the things that you say, for sure.
I'm like, I like this Protoss cheese. I'm like, oh.
Some
Yeah.
booger eater fire.
And then I'm going like this, rubbing my belly because it's so good. I'm like, you talk. I'll be back later. I'm like,
Yeah.
Well,
you know who
Yep.
I want to here. Think about who you would really like to see win a championship this year. Think in your head. GSL Code S championship.
tasteless. Who would I like to see win? I mean, Prince would be exciting.
Okay.
I mean, it wouldn't be this season, obviously.
Yeah, no. Well, certainly not
But,
this
I
season.
mean,
that would be quite a trick,
yeah.
wouldn't it?
SOS would be very cool. That we
That
actually
would be
haven't.
good. That would be a good one.
That feels like it's one of our stories we were supposed to tell, but it never
Yeah.
actually happened.
You got
so there-
second twice.
Yeah.
Never won a GSL. You've won so much
yeah,
other stuff.
That's true.
Yeah, that's
So there's-
a,
what
that's
about
a good
you?
one. That's a good one. I was actually thinking innovation because it's been a long time since he won. His last win actually against SOS, but it's been years, and I would love to see him peak up again. No, I'm not like.
Yeah, that's really exciting, Artos.
No, really.
You're like, you know what I think would be crazy?
You know what? I am one of those
Is,
people. I want the good
I
old players to just keep winning
Yeah,
forever.
yeah, you're one of those guys.
I'm like, once you get on top, you should be there forever.
If there's one thing that's bad, it's change. Like,
yeah. When I saw Percival almost win a game, I was like,
I
no.
was like, this is wrong. This is a crime against God. We need the same players for all time, forever.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's what really makes.
When Prince took a game
GSL
from
good.
TY, I turned around at Prince and I was like, He's like, but TY won twice last year. Can I just play once? I'm like,
Yeah, I mean those are the kind of players I would like to have. Ones that either haven't won but should have, or just completely new.
Or have only won like 4 or 5, but need another one now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or TY. That's who I really want to have win this again.
Yeah, that would be great if he
Yeah.
just keeps winning them. Yeah. All right. Glad we got that out of the way.
I'm really glad they haven't gotten that computer swapped out either. That's good.
It takes a long time to swap out a computer.
What is
You got to unplug
in our
and
background
replug.
now? Is that foil on the light?
Yeah. So we have this light here,
Yeah,
but
that's-
it's like too bright, so
We
they
put foil
taped,
on
like,
it to ruin our
paper.
shot.
Yeah, and
This is
that is not attractive
when
looking.
the game is going on. Artosis takes that foil and wraps it around his head and starts talking about Terran's the hardest race. Is what normally happens. But right now we stick it over
so
there.
it's a truth helmet,
It's
is
a-
what you're saying.
Yes, it's a
Okay.
It gives you access to the truth. I like that. Good comeback. But it's good to be back at our studio. We actually haven't been in this studio since Super Tournament, right?
Yeah,
This is
that
just the
correct. That is
StarCraft 2
correct.
studio now.
Yeah, I guess that's all we're casting here now.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of stuff's going on in the Jom Shill studio.
I want to remind you guys the days are different now for this this show. Probably
Monday,
forever.
Thursday.
It is Monday, Thursday
Yeah,
now.
for the whole year we're doing Monday, Thursday.
Yeah, this
for
isn't like a weird exception. So
no more Saturday mornings
No.
for us, which was like a good time for NA.
and Artosis
'Cause
and
we
nobody
just-
else. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
We were
everybody
just
else
looking
sleeps
at the
in.
results of the NA pro gamers. They just weren't as good as the Europeans, so we decided to keep the time for the
That's right.
Europeans.
This is going to be our new days. Frickin' TV picked up a lot of new titles, and so we're having to. Well, not we, but the company's having to move a lot of the days around here. So
Tasus was in charge of that.
that was my idea.
Yeah.
That's what I do when I'm not here. I'm doing that.
Mhm.
I guess we could plug the Patreon for the ASL. We're about to get notified. Do we know what's
What?
happened?
Did you say we're about to get into a fight?
I heard the Korean productions in my ear. Oh, no, they pressed the wrong button, I just told. We have a Patreon for the ASL. We'd love for you guys to check out. What is it? Patreon.com/ASL English. We're
looking
still
forward to
we
that.
still want to do the VODs for that. So if you want to support us, that's a great way. And now we're going to take a 5-minute break. And when we come back, hopefully Game 3 is ready.
You gotta let it fly. You gotta get it in the wings. If you wanna make it right, blue and red. Don't hold on too tight. You know you gotta try. Keep it love alive. Keep it love alive.
Maru pointing at his head. What are you thinking, Maru? Go get your foil hat and come up with the answers, Artosis. Guys, thank you for waiting. I don't think our game's ready yet, but our 5-minute break is done.
Yeah. I would have preferred that we just filled during that, you know? Just
Yeah.
keep talking. Just.
What I really want to do is, you know, we have this delay, and then I just get our Uno cards out, and we play a little game of Uno for the stream.
It's a good game. All right, here's our matches on Thursday. Is there a match there that you're really looking to as exciting?
Yeah, man, Special's playing.
I think all three are really good matches. Of course, Byun versus Kira is going to be awesome as well. But yeah, Special DRG, definitely me too. That's exciting. And then, of course, the Parting Dark one is just mind-boggling.
Yeah,
right?
French kiss on that one.
Yeah,
Chef's kiss, excuse me.
Here's the thing that gets
I'm
me
like
about
tongue kiss on that one. It's
Oh
like,
my
what are we even
God.
talking about? All right, sorry, go ahead.
Hold hands and jump off a bridge on that
Yeah.
one, tasteless. That, like, Ragnarok versus Hurricane exists, but so does Parting versus Dark, right? That doesn't feel right. But I think that these are seeded somehow. I actually don't know for sure, but it looks to me like they're seeded. Like the fact that TY is playing Prince and Maru is playing Creator and SOS is playing Percival. But actually, SOS did so poorly in the last year. Maybe not. Maybe it is random. Either way, Parting Dark, the fact that one of them doesn't go up is insane.
And again, guys, every Monday, Thursday, not just for Code A, but for Code S as well. And once we have our players who've survived, we're going to go right into the round of 16.
Yeah, in fact, that day with Stats versus Bunny and Parting versus Dark, we're going to have that group selection right afterwards. So
Right.
that'll be good. And Maru, waiting patiently.
This is great music for this kind of delay. We got to get this fixed.
Okay, is Creator ready? Like, all right, now type in your password. Okay, here we go. Are your hotkeys right? Do you have sound? How do computers go bad? Like, it's such a weird
It happens
thing
in
to me.
tournaments a lot where like my computer occasionally there's a problem, but like I just restart it, you know. But like here it's
Yeah.
and it's not like it's just a thing here. I mean, it happens at events. Events have to have backup PCs like ready,
Yeah, yeah.
not just for StarCraft, for all
I
all
just
games.
wonder how it happens so often. Like, does someone switching an account? Like, people don't even have mouse drivers anymore. It's on the mouse almost for every mouse that there is. So you're not even installing anything. So how the hell are computers always going bad in tournaments? Few times every season.
Well, I would also imagine it's if it does anything weird, they're just like, get it off. We can mess with it behind scenes. Let's just put a new one in there. Because, you know, sometimes you'll have some problem with your computer where it's like being slow and you're doing the normal troubleshooting stuff, but that takes time.
Yeah, restart. If the restart didn't work, call Up a Tree Zelda.
Yes.
And then that works.
But, you know, if it's you're sitting there troubleshooting and you have a backup PC that's, I mean, most of these PCs they're basically new. You know, I mean, people aren't sitting in here playing. They're not playing the new Doom game. You know, when the show's not on this computer. So I think the idea is like just swap it out to save time. Troubleshoot the other computer later.
Yeah, I guess, but it's not saving much time, is it? I would have preferred the restart. We'd already be in that game, man. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I find it strange that things go wrong so often. Because how often do things go wrong in your PC?
I'm like every week, like with the stuff I have on my PC. Now, I mean, not that often. Not really.
Only like when Windows Update occurs, I think, is when I have things go wrong. Because Windows Update just loves to screw with sound settings.
Yeah, Windows updates is a problem. Yeah, I mean, not that often. So we're going to be doing a resume from replay. Resume from replay.
Oh, we're recovering the game that's 17 seconds in?
Yeah.
I find that to be needless.
Well, I guess you could, in theory, immediately send a worker out and just do something different. It doesn't, you know.
Yeah, I feel like the only difference could be the spawn location, right? Like
maybe
you're
there's
like,
a better
I got
strategy.
top left or bottom right. You know, that's like, yeah, I don't know. They are doing that though, as you said. They are recovering from.
Yeah, we're in the game. They're asking the players if they're prepared to go into this. They're both saying yes. And we're going to start this game. Okay, so this is game 3 if you're joining us. It's a best of 5. This is Code A. The winner goes on to Code S, and it's Maru up 2-0, so Creator needs to win, or our show is rapidly going to come to an end.
Do you remember that time we had a pause in some tournament, and it was like a really long pause for something, and then when the unpause finally occurred, the player died like in under a minute after that.
Yeah, I do remember this
I
actually.
forget which tournament this was or which players these were, but that occurred, and it was like, whoa.
Well, I'll tell you, man, as long as that took, people have gotten much faster at fixing these problems. Or even the idea to throw us a break, which is kind of a relief for us, you know? I know you guys like it when we talk and make jokes, but sometimes we do need like some time to stop. Be like, okay, we stop talking now. We had days where there was a delay. We'd be on camera for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Having literally no idea what's going on. Like, I don't know.
Nothing will ever top the first day we casted World Tank, so we knew like the least we ever knew about that game.
Yeah.
It was like 45 minutes of fill on top of everything else.
We had a period where we had to fill for, I think, 50 minutes on a stage at BlizzCon.
Did we?
Yeah,
That's
StarCraft
crazy.
1, man, where it's like,
Oh,
there's
in
like
the old days,
literally
yeah.
thousands of people, and it's like, well, we're just going to start talking now.
Yeah.
And we never found out what that delay was for. We're just like, well, here we are. It's
Yeah,
just-
things were produced way
Yeah.
different back then.
Okay. But we're back in this game. We've seen before from creators some pretty slow kind of very textbook PvT. And it's looked actually pretty good, but not good enough against Maru. We've got
yeah.
the 2 best Terrans in the world here playing today in Code A. And you know, I was talking earlier about the fact that Prince, you know, he looks like a new Protoss.
Yeah.
And I mean, he is a new Protoss, of course, but like, it's not like he's some kind of junior version of Zest or some kind of B-level version of Stats, or, you know, he does Partings rushes, but just not as well. He just has his own original approach. He's
free
wild.
thinking.
Yeah, he's a free-thinking, independent Protoss. And
It's a brave, strong, independent Protoss.
that's right.
Free range Protoss.
Who don't need no Terran. But and this is something I do worry about a little bit with creators. I mean, the style does look old, and I don't believe the style he's bringing out is something where it's like, oh, isn't this wild? This is something that we had in the past we thought sucked and it's here before. It's like among the most textbook. And the problem is that this is, you know, what Maru's played against all the time, and this is
Okay.
why he's had so much success.
Can I give a counter to what you just said, though?
Yeah, go ahead.
He was like the original standard Protoss,
Yeah.
right? Like, that was his style. So that is his style. That is how he wants to play at his peak. Back when he got second in the World Championship, he was playing standard macro games. So
Yeah.
that's the kind of player he wants to be. He's not the best at it, but you can still do what you love.
Yeah.
Okay, he's actually reducing this Hellion count pretty significantly, and there's a proxy starport on the map, so I think that was actually a pretty darn good trade for him.
Yeah, I agree. It looks kind of like it was a fail initially when you see the Protoss, you know, was driven away. But here's the thing: is that he's still got the 2 Widow Mines out,
Yep.
and Protoss still lost a decent amount. So I actually think although your line of thinking is not like incorrect, does he have enough to actually deal with the Widow Mine drop? Right? I mean, sometimes Widow Mines are not dealt with position as much as it is numbers too. You need enough to actually kill the Widow Mines and chase them around and stop them. So
Well, they're not going to be cloaked, so it's going to be a lot easier than previously.
True.
As long as he moves the probes in time. Yeah, he will. Breaks off 1 probe. Going to come back here and try to target it down a little bit. All right.
okay, this is great. This is looking really good here for Creator.
Absolutely. Now, here comes that Hellion drop. He already killed a bunch of Hellions, so this could be surprising that this many pop in. One
Yeah.
does get a shot off, so it gives him a little bit of advance warning.
He basically doubled down on the probes here. Hellions here. And I think despite all the preventative measures we saw come from Creator, this game kind of ends up in the same position anyways.
Yeah.
Just Widow
Yeah.
Mines before Hellions, and I think it was 9, on our screen here, 9 probes killed.
I would say it wasn't as bad as the previous game for sure. Game 1, I think it was actually slightly better defense than game 1 maybe. So, do we call it the best start that he's had? Maybe, maybe.
I don't know if that's the best way to try to phrase it. I mean,
The least bad?
the least bad might be
Not as much damage as previously. Well, he's
Yeah,
going to Dark Shrine. I like it.
Yeah, now this is, I think, more outside the norm, which is probably a good thing here.
Yeah, DT
You know-
drop is still a pretty solid, pretty cool opener.
Yeah.
It definitely can catch people off guard and do some damage. Unfortunately for him, there is a Raven in production, so it's hard to imagine the DT's doing a lot, but they can still do some, even if their Raven's out.
Yeah, DTs are funny in that if they don't do a lot of damage, they didn't work, basically. It's not like a lot of other units where you can make them and be like, well, I'll keep these. You can turn them into Archons, sure, but you need to have a lot before the Archons are really going to help. You know, a lone Archon's actually pretty bad if it can be sniped.
Yeah. One Archon doesn't do a whole lot. But, you know, he's getting charged, so maybe he goes DT Archons and charge lots here.
Sure.
That sounds reasonable to me. Yeah, he's warping another DT, so that's definitely for a couple of Archons. 5 gates being produced. He does have that third Nexus up. I think it's fine. You know, it's kind of like when you see the DT into Archon drop against Zerg, where it's like the DTs don't have to do damage. It's great if they do. I think this, I mean, it's a little bit more punishable here, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world.
I think it's much stronger against Zerg, but
yeah, for sure.
the thing is, this can be good. I worry that because it can be a little bit risky if they get the War Prism.
Oh yeah, if they get the
Creator is
Prism, you're in
kind
so
of,
much trouble.
he is the guy that, you know, stubs his toe game-wise. A lot of these moments, you know. Stalkers are coming up now. We have the Immortal about to pop out.
But overall, I like a lot of the things that Creator's doing here. Like, I love the Immortal. Anytime that you open with DT, I think you need to make at least one Immortal before it's splash damage. Give some stability to your army. The Archon drop, hey, he's doing all right with that. 4 kills, some lost mining time, keeping him back slightly.
And now he's going to be able to blink in. This is what I'm really excited to see, because Stalkers combined with Archons, that's a different story here. And actually getting these add-ons is great.
Maru's going across the map, tasteless.
Oh my god.
So a ton of damage is actually being done.
This is the kind of game Creator needed to play. But he's got to be able to hold off this attack. I'm not sure what he has back at home. But this many Stalkers, I think, can actually shoot down anything that pops out,
Well,
especially when the Archons come in here. I think this is one of those fundamental losses here for the Terran, but hold on a second here. You know, Terran is taking a beating in his main, but this is also an extremely scary push here from the Terran. It's a base trade. Oh my god.
The Archon
no,
and
no,
the
no,
Prism.
no.
So painful.
And here's the thing. That attack is finished. This one's just starting.
Oh, he's actually just sent the rest of his units across the map.
Yeah, but it's
Okay.
Terran against Protoss in a base trade.
Yeah.
Is that, are those the only probes he has? No, sorry, there's one, of course, north of here.
Yeah. Like, I want to see him warp in as many DTs as is possible, because that's really powerful in a base trade. Unfortunately, he doesn't have that DT blink. Like, maybe he can take out this main base, but like you said, you know, Terran is very efficient in base trades. They can get a lot of value out of their
They're
units.
basically better. I mean, you know.
Generally speaking,
Yeah.
DTs can make a difference, but I don't know about this game.
Yeah, and he's actually barely going to lose his fight in his main. DTs are coming forward. I'm sorry, is the Raven with the army? Yeah, it is. Okay, so the Raven is kind of the ace up Maru's sleeve here, because DTs just are worthless against this army. And you know, this is obviously the last Nexus.
Oh boy, he doesn't have enough for another Nexus right now.
Yeah, and so when you kill this Nexus, I believe the CC at the 9 o'clock spot is finished, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god, auto turrets are just so strong there.
Yeah, and that's going to be that, unfortunately, for Creator. 0-3 out of Code A, not able to make it into Code S this time. Looks like he's keeping a positive attitude about it. Losing to a friend and the best Terran out there. You can't be that upset, right?
I feel for Creator though, but he does, you know, he has those wrinkles in his play, and Maru once again comes out on top. Again, it's what we expected. I mean, it's hard to imagine a night where Creator was coming out, having 3 wins against Maru, one of the most untouchable players of all StarCraft history. And so here we are, guys. We're going to have an interview now with Maru, see how he's feeling as we wrap up our first day back for GSL of the year.
Maru of Team Envy defeats his teammate Creator 3-0, and he moves on to the round of 16 codes. Congratulations. Thank you. Well, today we got to see another Team Envy team kill today. So how do you feel after that match? Well, you know, when I saw the brackets, I hoped there would be no team kill match, but you know, we haven't been fortunate with that. So, you know, I didn't think it's really that good. But today we got to see a phenomenal match from you, Maru. And then last game it went to the base trade match, and you're not shocked at all in that last game. I was actually shocked in the game.
상대가 다크가 있는 걸 아니까 엘리전을 생각했어야 돼.
So you know,
그걸 생각 못 해가지고.
The opponent had Dark Templars, so I should have anticipated the base trade, but I didn't. So I was kind of flabbergasted at that. Well, looking at your recent performance, I think you've been regaining your form these days. What do you think? Well, compared to before, my injury is getting better.
작년보단 더 잘할 것 같아.
And I think I'll be able to play better than last year at least. And Maru, does that mean that you'll be able to achieve your G5L this year?
지금 테란이 너무 안 좋아가지고.
Well, I mean, to say that, the Terran's not in a good position right now. So I'm not too sure. Well, then how is Terran not good right now? Specifically. Well, if you have to look at the online match or big tournaments, Terrans are always eliminated early on. So I think there has to be a patch to buff Terran right now. Okay, let's talk about the IEM Katowice. In IEM, it must be a disappointing result for you. In the round of 8, you beat Rogue, but in the round of 4, you got reverse sweep by Raynor, and that was quite unfortunate. So, how have you been after that? Well, you know, until the second game, I was winning, and then I was thinking, oh my god, Raynor's so bad. And then after that, I got reverse sweep. So for the next month, I was kind of in a lot of stress after that. Yeah, you definitely let your guard down in that match. But Maru is definitely Maru from looking at your today's performance. And Maru, you did join a new team called Team Envy, and a lot of junior members are actually in the team as well. So do you still hang along with the team junior members? Yes, I mean we have Creator, we have SOS, so you know we still do get along together. And my junior teammates always support me, and I think it's really good that we can stay together. And Maru, this is actually a small little information, but you have been the youngest player for the past 10 years in the GSL, Korean GSL players. But now it's Percival who's the youngest, so what do you think about that? Yeah, I actually hope Percival would do better, but you know, I think he was unable to get his nervousness off, so that's quite unfortunate. So we'll look forward to your first season of this year, Maru. So before you go, anything you want to say? You know, I've been taking a long break, and you know, now I move on to the round of 16. And as I have just defeated my teammate, I'm gonna try harder and then try to move on further. Congratulations, thank you.
Great first day back, guys.
Yeah, quite a pleasure seeing some of these newer players trying it out against some big-time champions. Of course, it was a little bit one-sided here tonight, but I think the Prince and Percival games were definitely interesting. Good to see these up-and-comers start to you know, push back a little bit against the strongest players in the world.
Yeah, they are really so important for the future of StarCraft 2 because we need to have new players. It's undeniable, man. I mean, the military service for so many of these players is coming around here. That doesn't mean they can't or they have to stop forever, but it does mean that there's going to be some big shoes to fill.
Our next match, this is going to be on Thursday, guys. So 1, 2, 3 days from now. DRG against Special, Kira against Bjorn, and Ragnarok against Hurricane. 3 of these guys are going to advance to the Code S round of 16.
That's right. Again, we're going to be back on an unusual day. I know it might get repetitious for some of you guys to hear, but we really want to get the word out there. A lot of people learn about GSL just by being, you know, subbed to the YouTube and watching the VODs. So it's always Monday and always Thursday. It is now never Saturday and never Wednesday. So it is like
true.
completely different. So
completely different.
Yeah.
It's been the other way for years, but
for
this is
a
new year.
decade. So now we are here almost a decade. We weren't
long
on
time.
Yeah.
Long time.
But yeah, so if you have friends who watch and are missing the show, please let them know. We are still having it live here Monday and Thursdays, 6:30 p.m. KST.
That's right. All right. Good first day back. Happy that GSL is here. And, yeah, we're going to be just ripping through it 2 days a week through to the end.
That's right. We're on our usual schedule of GSL, our comfort cast.
It really is so comfortable.
It's so fun.
We've done it for so long.
And, yeah, I mean, it's actually crazy. Most people don't do anything for 10 years.
I know.
So, like...
When are they going to give us, like, our retirement watch or whatever from a free When are they going to put us out to pasture?
That's coming soon for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
No, but it's good to be back, and it's great to see that the games were this exciting. And that is all the time we have, guys. We love you. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Wear a mask. And have a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are.